All right. I just want to say I like to do videos raw. I don't like to edit or do all the stuff that people do. Why? you know, let the information teach you, or you learn from it, or you grow from it, whatever you want to look at it. And that's life. I don't think we should have to, you know, make making things look pretty is good and all, but I think information, like if you find a tattered book with good information, and you can find a pretty book with bad information. That's it. So I've read this book before. I haven't read it in a while. Mavasar Tov from the Bible Rav, and wanted to read it. It's very good. And we'll read. It says, "Sanctify Hashem's name through proper conduct." This is very important. It's funny. I wasn't wearing this today. My son gave me this. I haven't worn it in a while. And before we read that, I want to explain something real quick. Not necessarily it's my custom. I do have a Hasidic Rav. So, sometimes I dress this way, sometimes I don't. But Hasidic Jews don't always dress with the hat or with the rekel, or you dress that way on Shabbat. But it's something that happened coming over here that I think is one of wanting to impress. In the old country, Hasidic Jews dress like everyone else. They're poor. They're poor paupers, trying to make a dime, man. And I try to bring that kind of in my life to this day, looking at the old ways, like a black man. Even though I'm black, I do agree. I like the philosophy. I love Hasidic philosophy. And if you think about the old country, about even in, let's take Black America, for example, you dress like everyone else, You work every day. You work at a factory. You work at a slaughterhouse. You work for the city. You work for this. You work for that. Or you were a farmer. You only dressed up only on Shabbat. You didn't dress up every day. And you worked hard every day, and you brought the philosophy with you. Whatever you did, it wasn't necessarily the dress code; it was the mindset, it was the philosophy. And that's one thing we always have to set straight. So no, I don't always wear, bowler hat or a top hat or my record everywhere I go. I work a very physically demanding job, so I get dirty every day. I can't wear this hat at work. But I keep the essence of it, where I do wear my kippah every day, but I wear a regular hat over it, which is a custom to wear a regular hat over your kippah, or a hat over your kippah. So I do still follow the philosophy, generally speaking. Obviously, more my holistic outlook is more modern, more modern in that what's necessary. And real situations is like that for Jews, that you have to look at what's necessary. The most important thing is to have a herksher is wine and meat. Vegetables, you can check yourself. All those things, everything that we have today, vegetable-wise, just about everything is OU already. So you're kind of safe in that. But then get into different meats and different companies, and you get issues. Is it this? This particular texture you follow for this type of meat, yada yada yada, or whatnot. We go forever about those issues. But Baruch Hashem, you could be a Jew anywhere in the United States, even rural places. You could be Haredi in the most rural place in the United States, because really set up for it. And if you know halacha well enough, you're good enough. All right, so let's get back to this. Each kind of sin has a certain process through which it is atoned. The worst category, whose atonement is the most difficult, is Hula Hashem, desecration of Hashem's name. The Gemara states that a person who desecrates Hashem's name will not be forgiven until he dies in penance. The definitions of Hulu Hashem varies for each individual. The more a person is viewed as a religious figure, the more he has to be careful to create a bad image for Hashem's holy Torah. The Gemara thus explains, you must love Hashem your God. We must endear Hashem to others through our actions by learning Torah, attending to its scholars, and interacting in a pleasant manner with those around us. Such a person causes others to remark, fortunate is his father for having taught him Torah. Fortunate is his Rebbe. Woe to those who do not learn Torah. This person who studies Torah, behold, how pleasant are his ways, how proper are his actions. To such a person we can apply the verses. He said to me, you are my servant, Israel, in whom I take pride. However, when one learns Torah and attends to its scholars, yet does not deal honestly in business or interact with others in a pleasant manner, he causes others to remark, woe to this person who studies Torah. Woe to his father who taught him Torah. Woe to his Rebbe who taught him Torah. This person studied Torah. Behold, how corrupt are his actions and how disgusting are his ways. To such a person we can apply the verse, you will disgrace my name, as the nations wonder, is this not Hashem's nation, exiled from their land? Religious Jews are obligated to make Kiddush Hashem, or sanctifying God, through their pleasant behavior and polite speech. These things make a good impression upon those who are less religious and encourage them to learn more about Judaism. In this way, we fulfill obligations as studied by the Rambam in his introduction to Sefer Mitzvahs, to draw people close to our Father in heaven and to a life of Torah and Mitzvahs. There is hardly anyone who can claim to be entirely blameless in this area, and this is true. Never having made a Chilul Hashem through his poor behavior, or never spoken rudely in the presence of a secular Jew, and cause him to say, woe to this person. Not just a secular Jew, just a person who doesn't follow Torah. Woe to this person who studies Torah. See how his speech is so unrefined. See how his behavior is so impolite. This is the worst kind of Hilul Hashem. It drives secular people, not just Jews, away from Hashem's service, and is exactly opposite of our obligation to endear the name of God to others through our proper behavior. We must take this to heart.